Hey, now we are at the original Iron Man. No, not Cal Ripken because we're in the M's. We're at the Iron Man Joe McGinnity. Joe McGinnity was a turn of the century pitcher. Probably not many of you are familiar with him because he passed away in 1929. He holds the record, which will probably never be broken, and that is most innings pitched in a season. Whereas 200 is the cutoff now, as you know, for most pitchers, it seems. He pitched 434 innings in a regular season. So that is the NL record. Again, probably will never be broken. One loss percentage of 246 to 142, career ERA of 2.66. Won the World Series back in 1905 with the New York Giants. Again, he was considered one of the pitching greats, elected to the Hall of Fame, obviously, after he passed away in 1946 on the Old Timers Committee. And because of this, you can imagine his autograph is incredibly scarce. Reading Ron's book, he believes 10 to 20 autographs exist of him in the public market. That sounds about right. Obviously, with players like him, it's going to be forged. There's going to be a lot of forgeries of it. So, and we're going to walk through a lot of the autographs coming up right now and looking at his autograph. And we'll look at a few forgeries and other ones that Ron deems to be forgeries. And you can make up your own mind. You tell me, is this a forgery? Is this a not forgery? Based on the ones that we know are good based on history. So, without any further ado, I'm going to do what I always do, obviously. I'm going to switch it to the multi-view and look at the PSA database, which shockingly has three images. I don't know, starting with this one, where this is from or what this is. It looks like a cut, but again, I think it's good. Usually Joe McGinnity, you can see a Joe or a JJ, and it's signed on a flat plane like this. The entity all like this, like the IN and I is all pretty much the same stroke. The J here varies in size. Usually the J will be higher than this J, but this one could be higher. Again, there's not many autographs out there, but yeah, there's a break between the C's, then the Ginnity, the G right here. And again, it's just extremely rare autograph. This one is a little bit different. You can see the J's here. And again, for some reason you are in the market for a McGinnity autograph, it should also slant a little to the right. For whatever reason, he crosses his T's a little bit to the right here and crosses the Y as well. But you can see right here that the entities are all pretty much the same. And then finally, we have these Newark baseball letters where, again, a lot of these Joe McGinnity's, again, you see this time the J is higher than this one. The C is still the same. A break between the G and the I. You can see the T here is crossed a little bit later. So what I want to do now is look at some known autographs and some ones that are possibly fake. Again, starting right here, I don't know why a baseball of Joe McGinnity would even exist. I mean, he passed away in 1929. Granted, he didn't retire from professional baseball into the 50s, but still, no one was signing really autographs back then. So again, this one didn't sell. This was offered for sale. It was a while ago. This Joe McGinnity had a starting bid of 75,000. No one bid on it. Thank goodness. I think this is horrible. So, and the only reason why I say it's horrible, there's no breaks between the J and the J here. Mostly the N you could see right here is it's not on a flat plane. But again, I just don't think signed baseballs exist of him, to be honest with him. Moving on. This one sold recently. This sold, you can see, sold for $60,000. And this is from a reunion game back at the New York Giants. And what's amazing about this program itself, this sold, I remember, in 2015 for like 7,000. And then boom, sold again this year for 60,000. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit better. If there's a better picture of the McGinnity. There isn't. I think this is good. There's several other Hall of Famers on here, including Mickey Welsh and Amos Rusi, if I recall. But unfortunately, we can't zoom in a little bit more. But again, it's really, if this is a fake, it's a really good fake. And the other ones are really good fakes as well. It's just, again, I think it's a little bit impaired because of where they signed it. But you can see right here, it is on a flat plane. The J is a little bit higher than that. The T is crossed a little bit to the right. And again, with all the other autographs, again, this is most likely a good autograph. Moving on right here. This just sold, God, a couple of months ago. And I mean, this had no bids for the longest time. Then all of a sudden, boom, it has a bid. It sold for, what did it sell for? No, it's sold. It's sold for unsold. Oh, wow. Must have had a reserve. I think it was at $24,000. And again, it didn't even sell. It was at zero. And again, this JJ McGinnity, I don't. I know it's tough to see right here. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I know I don't like cuts. I know I would not buy this item if I had the money, just because we don't know the history of it. Again, it's tough to see. I'm sure when this came out, you could see. I could sworn you could have zoomed in on the auction, but now you can't. But regardless, this never sold, which is kind of interesting to me, to be honest with you. So this is something else. I saw this a long time ago. Don't get too excited when you say this sold in 2004. This sold a while ago. But again, I think the autograph is good. I don't know what it's sold for. Most of the autographs we know of Joe McGinnity are time associated with the Newark Baseball Club. So you can see this is a pass for 1910 that he signed. Again, the ends are all good. The T's right here. Yeah, he signed to Joe instead of JJ, which again is not impossible. It's very common this exists. And I really do feel this is a good autograph based on everything we know about it. But again, don't be looking. Again, this sold a long, long time ago. I don't know why it keeps coming up and everything like that. So moving on to the next autograph. Now, this one, Ron calls no bueno, and I tend to agree. This sold for $20,000 back in 2007. If we look at this autograph, a couple of things. The J's you could see are exactly right. The T leans a lot. It's a hard stop at these G's. Now that we know more autographs of him, the G is more of a round right here than a hard stop like that. It's kind of weird how this falls down right here and comes back up. And again, we have to be so careful of these endorsed checks. There's a lot of endorsed checks that have gotten through the TPAs over the years that have turned out to be no good, at least in my opinion and in the opinion of Ron, which I agree with. So again, I am not a fan of this autograph at all. I don't know where it resides today, but I guess it's a JSA. Yep, a JSA from the Barry Halper collection. Wonderful. That doesn't make you feel any better, to be honest, if you know the history of the Barry Halper collection. So moving on. I remember when this autograph sold in 2017, and I was an active bidder at this until $8,000. And then you can see right here, even as I stopped tracking on it because I was tracking it. Unfortunately, I think it was not the winner. And I look back, oh man, this sold for a bargain. This is probably a $35,000 to $40,000 letter now. It's the beautiful McGinnity letter. You can see right here. The J, this J is higher than this J, which you want to see. The M loops in, breaks between the C, and McGinnity is a nice, even, flat plane. Man, if I could own any Joe McGinnity autograph, I think it may just be this one. So I'm really upset that I don't own it. But again, I didn't have the money back then. Here's another one that sold for a similar price in REA. This sold back in 2020. Again, I think this is good also. It's on the great New York letterhead. Sold for a decent price. I just didn't have the money back then. Again, the J, you can see right here is a little higher right here. Doesn't lean to the right as much as you would like, but the Y right here, the G is not a hard thing right here. The M coming across. I mean, I think it's good. I really do think it's good. And I think whoever got this got an outstanding bargain. Let's move it to some more. This one has a lot of controversy to it. This Joe McGinnity right here, whether or not it's good or not. You can see right here, this was signed on a bank. And again, the person that endorsed it and who wrote the whole checkout is this. And for some reason, there's a Joe McGinnity autograph above this. And you can see there's no slant at all, except in the G, which is very uncommon for his autograph. So there's a lot of talk in the baseball autograph universe on a very, let's say, high level that this is not a good autograph. I see he has an LOA from Kevin Keating and everything, but people just don't think this is a good autograph. And I'll leave it at that. Again, I don't think anyone's buying this, just watch this video. And last but not least, we have this baseball sold in Hunt Auctions. Granted, this was a long time ago. I don't even know what it sold for. I think this is almost a joke. The G's way off. Everything here is way off. You see how it's a 1926 Brooklyn Dodgers team ball. Everyone's faded, but look at that. Joe McGinnity still stands out. So fancy that. So that is about 10 minutes on an autograph. Probably no one, including myself or my viewers, will ever own, which is insane. But I like, especially with these real tough, let's say the last 50 that I need. I like going through them. So we're going to move from Joe McGinnity to a baseball Hall of Famer that had two very different types of autographs. The only one I know in the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's kind of maybe a long discussion because of that, and that is umpire Bill McGowan. So as always, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and keep collecting.